I was born in Edmonton, Alberta. Lived there until I was 7, then we moved to Australia and lived there until I was 15. Art was the only thing that was constant for me, so it was the art interest. It was the only class I could take where I went quiet and concentrated.
And no makeup? Does it look like Canada?
I don't know if it's Canadian because I don't really think of it in that way, but it's been made here. I know how it feels when it's not being shown here, being shown somewhere else. There's a language that goes through it that can connect because it's quite social. When we learned art history, it was through somebody who knew art today, and that was Maury Baden. We started seeing things that were more real, the perception of the colors for the scale and the size. What happens between it and you and that space between. For me, it was the street level when I was trying to pull that into the art. So what people were doing with cars, and there was still the making, or something's broken, you fix it kind of culture. And that kind of skill is what I tried to steal from. Finding things from a street level and bringing them into galleries. And I remember when I did an earlier show in 1980, I wasn't allowed to drift off of the blueprint. From that point on, I promised myself never to get myself stuck into a situation where I have to stick to the rule. And that's what a blueprint does. I'm not an architect, you know. I can make my pieces leak. I'm not going to get in trouble. Around 82, it sort of started gluing together. I was always doing miniatures, but I always kept that separate, and then I was doing these big projects. The studio I had in Toronto on Queen Street West, I was doing a big piece and a little piece. One day I was sitting there, and it's the same thing, except it's a miniature. The miniatures that I was using and the activities of building was the same thing. So that's when I tried the idea of gluing these things together, not to treat them as things that are apart. And the BRUEGEL-BOSCH is one of those examples. For me, it's about making something and reinventing it, reworking it.